I appreciate so much that I feel like Kulinski has been the only person who has been like screaming into the abyss of the Trump shit after, like almost in an unhinged way. Why is this tweet is so unhinged? Oh, why? This isn't like a 2014 "Are you hungry?" like tweet. This isn't an old tweet. It was like 2 weeks. I don't even know why. I have no idea why he tweeted. Is this like a reference to something? Then the text messages. I feel like this is like an accidental, like, gives the game away red flag. I don't understand this.
Fox News. They've been number one for a really long time. And there were periods where CNN and MSNBC were kind of hanging in there with somewhat respectable numbers. But since the re-election of Trump, it's been a total collapse. It's been a total collapse. Let me walk you through some of the specifics here. Fox News Top Show is scoring 10 times the viewers of CNN primetime since the election. That's embarrassing. Because I don't even think this show is in primetime. 10 times more. It used to be like 2 times more. Now it's 10. Jesus Christ. Cable news' long reigning top-rated show, The Five, has surged in the ratings since Trump's victory in early November. Fox News' political panel show, which averaged 3.6 million total viewers in October, has been on an incredible 23-day run of 4 million-plus viewers since November 4th, which is over 10 times CNN's primetime average viewership. On Election Day itself, The Five raked in a whopping 7.15 million total viewers and 1.16 million viewers in the key 25 to 54 age demographic. Those numbers are crushing, dog. Holy shit. Co-hosted by some of Fox News' most watched on-air talent like Jesse Waters, by the way, that's so sad, Greg Gutfeld, Dana Perino, and Jeanine Pirro, the drunk. The Five has been a staple at Fox News since it first debuted in 2011. It's also one of the last shows in the industry to pit its liberal co-hosts, Jessica Tarlov and Harold Ford Jr., that guy's not a liberal, against conservatives in heated debates on the issues of the day. While The Five has been soaring in the race.
It all ties back to this, and I will bring this up over. It keeps coming back to that duality of conservatives simultaneously being the victim and the strongest party, like at all times. Like imagine the United States going to war with Cuba, and all of our media the entire time was talking about how much of an underdog we were. And then imagine we win the war against Cuba, and it's like the biggest like victory day celebration ever because we didn't even expect we'd win the war. It's like this at all points in time. Like how?
Ratings, Fox's competition has continued to see its viewership decline, with CNN averaging only 405,000 total viewers in primetime since the election. Total viewers. That's not even the key demo. While CNN's total viewership is down 45% in primetime since the election, it has also lost over half of its demo viewers, averaging 77,000 in primetime. Oh my God.
They're getting to YouTube numbers. Holy shit.
Holy cow. MSNBC, meanwhile, fell some 61% in the key demo since the election to a primetime average of 57,000 viewers. Holy shit. To put that in perspective for you, if you take a day's worth of Secular Talk videos and get my the key demo numbers, it would probably be 4 times that. I mean, this is like catastrophic for them. In total viewers, MSNBC has averaged 620,000 primetime viewers, a 54% drop. For comparison, in October, CNN averaged 830,000 total viewers and 175,000 demo viewers, while MSNBC raked in 1.39 million total viewers and 160,000 demo viewers in primetime. CNN and MSNBC's plummeting ratings have also meant that Fox News has expanded its share of total cable news viewers. The leading network now accounts for 72% of all primetime cable news viewers and 71% of viewers in the demo, according to Nielsen Media Research. Post-election, Fox has averaged 2.7 million primetime viewers and 331,000 in the demo. Additionally, Fox News has scored the top 284 cable news telecasts since the election. Wow. While both CNN and MSNBC have yet to have 1 hour top 2 million viewers. MSNBC has still managed to post the best non-Fox News numbers. On Monday, MSNBC scored 3 shows with over 1 million. Nicole Wallace's show, Rachel Maddow's, and Lawrence O'Donnell's. The network also averaged 1.09 million primetime viewers, a boost from its October average. While MSNBC may have reason for optimism that the incoming Trump administration may yield a ratings boost, CNN's audience shows little sign of returning at the moment. Caitlin Collins, who will be the face of the network's Trump White House coverage, registered her lowest rated week since her show The Source launched in July of 2023, averaging 402,000 total viewers and 77,000 in the demo. So look, as you all know, MSNBC is already cooked. They're already, NBC.
As you mentioned, the total number of viewers, could it mean Dems are all stopping to watch cable? I don't think in that number, no.
He is letting go of them. They were under the NBC umbrella, of course. Now they're going to have a spin-off thing where they're on their own. So they're cooked. They're cooked. And CNN, you already see the movement that they're doing. You see the movement that other so-called respectable outlets are doing. The LA Times axed an opinion piece that was critical of Trump's transition. They axed an endorsement of Kamala before the election. You see Jeff Bezos going down to Mar-a-Lago and giving Trump $1 million check for his inauguration. Jeff Bezos, of course, owns the Washington Post. You're seeing the capitulation. You saw it with Morning Joe, Mika and Joe Scarborough. They went to Mar-a-Lago and had lunch with Trump, and this is after they referred to him as Hitler. They're doing the capitulation thing. They're bending the knee. So what you're going to see is Fox News, One American News, and Newsmax are all going to hold it down hard.
One thing I've been thinking about a lot after yesterday's stream is I don't know who I should ever support, or should I see myself being aligned with. I have there are certain opinions that I think I would never ever ever want to be aligned with ever, even if they share a bunch of other opinions. Let's say you have a guy who says that I believe in more fluid borders for economic reasons. I believe in a strong welfare state. I'm a big capitalist, though. I think that regulation should make sense. And I think that men should be able to rape their wives, right? Even if we have a huge crossover in things that we believe, I don't know if I'm ever supporting that person. I just don't know if I can. Because some of the takes are just so outrageous where I'm all right, man. Jank is way too far over the line for me. There's too much where I can't even do it. Kulinski is so good on some things, but then there are other things, especially foreign policy, where it's just it's over the line. And I don't know. I don't know. I appreciate so much that I feel like Kulinski has been the only person who has been screaming into the abyss of the Trump shit after, almost in an unhinged way. He tweeted something, some conservative lady, I don't know, was it a House Senate person, posted a picture of a dinner they were eating, and Kulinski quote tweeted it, and he was like, "That's a lot of beans, you bitch." And I cried, because it was just a beautiful tweet. This is beautiful. I love you. But I know that tomorrow he might be tweeting some unhinged shit about how America needs to abandon Ukraine and blow up Israel. I'm no. Why? I don't know what Crystal Ball's position was on Obama. Not Obama. I can't believe I said that. On supporting Harris. But her debate with Cenk, I appreciated that a ton. She was crystal clear. There was no ambiguity right there. We watched this on stream. There was no ambiguity here in terms of who, she should support or who she finds herself more aligned with policy-wise. And she was giving credit to Biden's administration for the things they've done. It was just... Even... Oh, this is going to hurt. Oh, this is going to hurt to say. Even Emma Bingland, I think, how would you pronounce her name, I think was pretty unequivocating when it came to talking about Harris versus Trump, I think, on Twitter. I don't know if she was before the election. I'm not sure about it before the election. But Do they actually believe any of their Israel-Palestine takes, or is it just a performance for thought? I mean, they probably believe them, but just haven't like dug a ton into it. Or it's like, it's all information environments. I don't know.
Constraining Donald Trump, holding him to account, he has become the central figure in the Republican Party. And, however he wants to spin things, whatever case he wants to make, what I have seen is people consistently, even in this era, even with new parts of the coalition, et cetera, I have seen them fall in line. And that's where the RFK Jr. and the Tulsi example comes in.
I get it. So if I said to you, who is more likely to cut the Pentagon? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, or Donald Trump?
None.
Okay.
I mean, Donald Trump increased the defense budget every year that he was in office.
Of course.
Yes, thank you for saying that. So even though she did the none, well, no, actually, I'm so sorry. I would agree with her. No, I'm sorry. I would agree with her. She's right. I don't think Biden or anybody is talking about cutting the budget of the Pentagon as well. That is true. Okay, that's good. He's going to try to say Trump would. Trump literally ran on rebuilding the military. I can't watch this guy. I can't watch this guy.
And he bragged about it.
Yes.
Okay. So I agree that none of them are likely to cut it. But with Trump, because of his right-wing base and his desire for popularity, I have it at possible. With Biden and Harris, it had a 0% chance because they work for the goddamn donors. They would never cut the military.
So does Trump.
Yeah.
Jen,
so look,
he went to oil executives and was like, give me $1 billion and I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Crystal, you don't have to convince me of that.
Totally flipped on crypto.
Crypto's going to be a disaster. You don't have to convince me of that. But here's, let me see.
You have nothing. You have nothing. You have no point. You're trying to stand on clouds. You have nothing. What do you think Trump? I can't watch him.
Break through one last time.
Okay.
So if Biden said, if Kamala Harris had won and she developed a conscience, which is nearly impossible, and said, you know what, this Pentagon is bloated. Look at all this fraud and abuse. They can't find $400 billion. That's it. I'm cutting $200 billion from the Pentagon. Even if she had done that, which had a 0% chance, the Democrats would have stopped her. Not just the Republicans, but the Democrats would have found a way to stop her and not allow her to cut the Pentagon. So there was no hope at all, a black hole of hope. Okay. With Trump, if the Republicans go to stop him, if he goes to cut the Pentagon, they won't be able to. If Mitch McConnell goes and Rick Scott goes, you won't cut the Pentagon. Trump like, what did you say, bitch? Okay. I mean, Mitch. Okay, right? And Mitch McConnell like, oh, I'm so sorry. We're cutting the Pentagon. Everybody, we're cutting the Pentagon. Because Trump has them bullied. That is another advantage of Trump, that he could bully the establishment,
so
the grotesque establishment.
So his sort of authoritarian tendencies, jiu-jitsu move, end up being a benefit. It's your position. We will see. I do want to just quickly, because we've already gone on a long time, I don't want to keep you too long.
Why is this tweet is so unhinged? Why? This isn't like a 2014 "Are you hungry?" like tweet. This isn't an old tweet. It was like 2 weeks. I don't even know why. I have no idea why he tweeted. Is this like a reference to something? She killed a dog, I think. She's the bathroom one. I don't know what either of those mean. This video about PayPal scam is going viral. Worth reacting to. Let's finish with our good friend here.
MAGA coverage, Republican propaganda coverage. That's what they're going to do. They'll be even more committed to that, right? And then you have all of the networks. Does
the average person even believe that populist is a positive term, or why does Cenk act like it? No, because they openly identify as populists. They do like that. It is a good term to them.
Supposed to be on the other side. They're not. They're going to split the difference. They're going to do false equivalence. They're going to do both sidesism. And so, in other words, in mainstream TV, you're not going to have an outlet that even just advocates for the Democratic Party. Right? You have the Republican propaganda networks, 3 of them. You're going to have 0 that are pro-Democrat. They're going to do above the fray, false equivalence, both sidesism. Why? Because the people that own these outlets, they are scared of Trump. And they want to stay in Trump's good graces. That's why they're axing critical things and they're sending him money for his inauguration and things of that nature, because they want to make sure, hey, I don't want my taxes raised. I don't want to lose whatever corporate welfare I get.
I know you've got a lot of heat for the firefighter thing, but does it bother you that people are adopting the same logic when it comes to Luigi, saying they don't condone the violence, but they're sympathetic for the CEO's murder? Wait, I haven't seen people say that at all. I feel like people just say straight out they do condone the violence. Wait, am I missing that, where people say they don't condone the violence?
I want to make sure that I stay in their good graces. So their way of doing that is to not be like a pro-Democrat or pro-liberal network. Their way of doing that is, we're going to split the difference. We'll bring in more conservative voices to balance out the coverage. And so you are going to get a very skewed picture of what the political landscape in this country is.
Isn't that your position? You don't condone the violence, but you don't care that he died? That's my position. But their position for Luigi is not that they don't care that the CEO died. They support it. They like it. They enjoy it. There were people championing the posting of the fucking signs on, I don't even know what city it was, where they were posting signs of CEOs outside or whatever with pictures of them. Like, okay, what is this? Protesters came to the Capitol today to protest my bathroom bill. Poor things got arrested, so I have a special message for them.
All right, so some tranny protesters showed up at the Capitol today to protest my bathroom bill, but they got arrested. Poor things.
Wait, she must be, it's a House Republican, isn't it? Every crazy, I don't actually know. Sorry, hold on. Congresswoman representing South Carolina, real woman. What? Are you okay? This is some shit where if we're DM'd by a random and she's got this, I'm like, ooh, this is a hardcore trans person. But okay. No, I'm just kidding. What a weird.
So I have a message for the protesters who got arrested. You ready? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney, be present during any question. If you cannot afford an attorney, I doubt many of you can, one will be provided to you at the government's expense.
Okay. This is why you have those little furry windscreens for portable mics, by the way. This is in front of the Capitol Police headquarters where the protesters are being processed after their arrest. Doesn't she mean rioters? Why would you arrest people just for protesting? Is it transphobic to accuse her of being trans? Do you think? I can't tell. No, yes, no. I feel like it kind of is. No, because I'm not accusing her of being trans. I can't quote tweet, I just realized, because I think Twitter has limited it. Like, if I wanted to quote tweet her and say, like, what's up with all the self-hating trans people? Would it be transphobic? I feel like it's transphobic if you accuse somebody of being trans because of, in like a derogatory manner. Well, self-hating is kind of derogatory. But she's not actually trans. Huh. It's a transvestigation? Well, but not really. I don't actually think she's trans. I don't know. We'll do a breakdown analysis of this later on. Okay.
It will leave the misimpression that there's nobody who's like actually against Trump, actually resisting Trump, actually finds this totally unconscionable. And they're leaving the lane wide open in mainstream media. And outlets like ours, I've said it before, but this is like, you're seeing a lot of MSNBC refugees now finally come to...
I mean, does it really matter? People are going to call you a transphobe regardless. I don't really care that much if people call me transphobic. I mean, I care in that it's like annoying, obviously. But I mean, I'm not transphobic, so I don't want to convey a feeling or a thing that I don't feel like I am. Well, I mean, I guess if you consider my trans takes transphobic, then I'm transphobic, but I wouldn't want to convey something hateful if I'm not hating, okay?
Online outlets, because they're like, shit, they're not even giving me the thing that I thought is what they stood for. And so if they think that doing the both sidesism and the false equivalence is going to get them viewers back, the opposite is true. Because your liberal base is going to abandon you because you piss them off. And all the conservatives you're trying to reach out to, they never trusted you in the past, and they're never going to trust you in the future. Because you're never going to be able to compete with the real, pom-pom using right-wing hacks like Newsmax or Fox News. And so you're bringing in zero conservatives, and you're pissing away your liberal base. You're in fucking no man's land, bro. You're in no man's land. And so this does not bode well for the future. By the way, also, you have Elon Musk flirting with buying MSNBC. The similar thing happened with Alex Jones. It looked like The Onion was going to buy InfoWars, but they were able to gum up the works and stop it. Now it looks like there might be some right-wing billionaire who's Alex Jones sympathetic who might buy InfoWars. So that was looking like, hey, at least that'll be funny to use InfoWars for comedic reasons now. Move it past Alex Jones. Now looks like it's axed. And what's going to happen with the rest of the media, right? What's going to happen with the rest of the media? It looks like MSNBC might get bought by a right-wing billionaire too, and then you can have wall-to-wall regime propaganda is what we're going to be looking at. That and both sidesism, which is mealy-mouthed and useless and way too weak and nebbish for the moment that we live in. So the media landscape looks absolutely hellish. It really reminds me of the early Bush years when all the anti-Iraq war hosts were fired. And you had the right wing were the loudest voices. Fox News was the loudest voice cheerleading the wars. And MSNBC and CNN didn't utter a peep against the wars. And then eventually they moved on to both sidesism, which still wasn't even resisting the wars. It's ugly, man. Buckle up. It's going to be a long 4 years. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop.
Click the bell as well.
They say what they're saying, out of 22,000 people, there was one COVID death among the vaccinated, and there was 2 COVID deaths on the unvaccinated.
Double.
22,000 people. So, and that allowed them to claim it's 100% effective.
Effective for what? You can't use the word effective.
But you remember they kept saying it's 100% effective.
No, they just said it'll negate this.
I'm so glad. Who brought this up? Was it Hutch or did I bring it up to Hutch after somebody else told me? There's this weird rewriting of history where conservatives try to say like, oh yeah, you guys said the vaccine would be 100% effective and you all lied. And then somebody brought up no, because there was that whole meme of like, did you get the Pfizer or did you have to get the Moderna or did you get the J&J? Like which one? Like and people would like rank them or whatever for the meme or whatever. Yeah, I think it was Hutch. Yeah, that whole meme was like a thing for like a month. And then, and then now these guys like go back and like, oh no, they said that all the vaccine was 100% effective and blah, blah. It's like, okay.
Severity.
If you go on the internet, you can see Tony Fauci.
But the word effective didn't say you won't get, I never heard you won't get COVID.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is a different subject. But yeah, in fact, I saw a tape yesterday of them all, of Biden, Fauci, Gates, Burla, all of them saying, if you take the vaccine, Rachel Maddow, if you take the vaccine, you can't get COVID.
We looked up. Some guy made like this big thread of like 10 of these examples. And I feel like I looked all of them up. And it was always like the quote was like Bill Gates, and it would say, if people get vaccinated, we won't spread the disease or something like that. Like that would be the quote. And then when I would read, I was like, okay, well, Bill Gates is like a pretty knowledgeable guy on vaccine health insurance. It'd be weird that we say something that's stupid, but I don't know, maybe we did. And then we would go back and look it up. And then the paragraphs before would be like, the vaccines are incredibly effective. It's hard to get infected. If you won't be likely to have disease. If we get herd immunity, then it won't be likely that, we'll continue to pass disease. If we get vaccinated, we won't spread the disease. It'll be like that. Yeah, it was always it was never this statement of like, if you get vaccinated, you will never get sick ever. I don't even think Biden gaffed that. I think there was one person, I think it was one spokesperson that went on to MSNBC once, I think said something, the strongest form of that statement. And I think the CDC corrected her like either that day or the next day. But every single other quote was just not that.
You can't pass COVID.
I didn't see that.
Okay, well, you know what? Can I play it for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Here, it doesn't matter what Rachel Maddow says.
No, they should have ran down was that Rachel Maddow who made the strong claim? I don't think it was Maddow. I think it was a person that went on like her show or something.
Can't get COVID. You can't pass COVID.
I didn't see that.
Okay, well, you know what? Can I play it for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Here, it doesn't matter what Rachel Maddow says.
They say.
Literally, the head of the CDC at the time, Rochelle Walensky, that's who said it. Yeah, but they retracted the strong form of that claim either the same day or the day after. Like, I think that the easy way to tell that conservatives are like mind fucked on this is it's so funny because conservatives didn't trust the vaccines and liberals were the ones who generally did trust them more. The only people who thought that the vaccine was 100% effective, they said, are conservatives who didn't trust it anyway. Like, it's like the most bad faith like critique that is so stupid. I don't understand how. No, I do understand. It's like if somebody says one thing incorrectly on the liberal side, that's enough to not trust the whole thing. Meanwhile, these other guys are shooting hot loads of lies up your ass 24/7, and it's like, okay, well, he meant that. Oh, we don't take him seriously. We take him like, oh, we don't. He didn't actually mean. Oh, it's like, it's insane to me. Like, Jesus. found your thread. Oh, I made a thread on this? Oh, this fake PhD guy who got kicked out of his program. I don't think he finished it. In an interview with Piers Morgan, Destiny claimed the government never said COVID vaccines stop transmission. This is a lie. Below, I've compiled statements from officials who declared exactly that. Below these statements, I've compiled additional statements showing the impact of these lies. These lies led to a mass campaign of active discrimination against unvaccinated people. Destiny's completely misinformed. He had to spend some time learning about what actually happened during the pandemic. The truth, the COVID vaccine had a minimal impact on transmission of the virus, yet officials claimed that it completely blocked transmission, leading to a witch hunt completely unjustified by any science whatsoever. Now, the statements. Bill Gates, July 30th, 2020. During 2021, we should be able to manufacture a lot of vaccines, and that vaccine's key goal is to stop transmission. The source. Billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates told Yahoo Finance in a recent interview that the development of medicine for the coronavirus is moving at record speeds and predicted that better treatments will be available this year and a lot of vaccines will be made next year. During 2021, we should be able to manufacture a lot of vaccines, says Gates, who along with his wife, Melinda, had donated more than $350 million to fight blah, 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 some of who supported research for therapeutics and vaccines. That vaccine, a key goal is to stop the transmission, to get the immunity levels up so that you get almost no infection going on whatsoever. Almost no infection. So the very first quote is just, that doesn't sound like 100% to me. Also, wait, I don't even think I criticized. Wait, hold on. I just realized this was before any vaccine was even out. There wasn't even a vaccine out yet when he made this. Oh, and I explained the CDC Director Rochelle Walensky, which is what Puggy is spamming in Kick Chat. She said, we can kind of almost see the end where we're vaccinating so fast. Our data from the CDC today suggests that, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick. And it's not just in the clinical trials, but also real world data. She said this on, I don't remember whose show she was on when she said this. Some CNN show, I don't fucking know. But the CDC's own guidelines literally did not say this. The CDC website, however, continues to say that vaccines only reduce the risk of people spreading COVID-19, not that people can't spread it post-vaccination. What is the propaganda plan here? We're going to send our spokesperson out to a news media show while we contradict what she says on the website. And then 3 days later, on April 1st, a CDC spokesperson seemingly walked back the director's comments, telling the New York Times that Dr. Walensky spoke broadly during this interview, adding that it's possible that some people who are fully vaccinated could get COVID-19. The evidence isn't clear whether they can spread the virus to others. We continue to evaluate the evidence. But this statement is ignored. Instead, you just want the one-liner, because you live in slogans anyway, I guess, right? Because if Donald Trump says more than one sentence, you're already lost regardless. MSNBC host Rachel Maddow said, now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus does not infect them. The virus cannot use that person to go anywhere else. I cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to get more people. A few statements earlier or above this, I guess. Well, today, the CDC reported new data that shows that under real-world conditions, not just in a lab, not just extrapolating from tiny numbers of test subjects, but looking at thousands of frontline health workers and essential workers who have gotten vaccinated and who have since been doing their jobs and living in a real world. Not only are there vaccines for those folks, thousands of them, keeping them from getting sick from COVID themselves, those vaccines are also highly effective, not 100% effective, highly effective, at preventing those people from getting infected, even with non-symptomatic infections, asymptomatic is what she meant. And if you're not infected, then you can't give it to anybody else. And I know this sounds like an incremental piece of news, but sit on this for a second, enough to absorb what that means, right? What this means is that we can get there with vaccines, we can end this thing. It means that instead of a vaccine being able, it means instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person to person, spreading, sickening some of them, but not all of them. And the ones it doesn't sicken don't know they have it and give it to mere poem, because they didn't recognize, right? I think this is a transcription error. So the virus being able to hop from person to person, mutating, blah, blah, blah. Now we know the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. They're talking about herd immunity. None of this is, I don't think anybody was making claims of 100% every single person. If you get vaccinated, you're never getting the virus. It doesn't make any sense. Or this is not, nobody had this understanding of any of this except for conservatives post hoc. Nobody at the time thought this. UCSF infectious disease expert Dr. Monica Gandhi, March 30, 2021. Essentially, vaccines block you from getting and giving the virus. The code is always one line. It's always one line. The director is referring to a new study of nearly 4,000 frontline workers, some vaccinated, some not. They tested themselves weekly for COVID-19 infections between December and March. Among fully vaccinated people in the study, there were only 3 infections detected. That's not 100%. Essentially. It didn't stop with every person as in, if you have 1,000 people vaccinated, for every new person vaccinated, theoretically you're stopping the transmission of the virus. With every new person vaccinated, you're stopping it more and more. Not every person vaccinated is 100% guaranteed not to get sick or infected. Again, like nobody thought this at the time. Nobody thought this, except for 1 year later, conservatives went back and said it. Nobody thought this. There was otherwise there wouldn't be, none of the memes or the jokes about if Pfizer or Moderna was better would even make sense. Why would people even joke about that if everybody thought it was 100%? Nobody thought this, except for conservatives thought that people were spreading propaganda about this, but for some reason, none of the liberals took to it. I don't get why we're still talking about COVID vaccines in 2024. Because I said 3 years ago, and this is true, you might even go find you can find a tweet where I even said this. The conservatives will never ever trust the COVID vaccine ever. And I said that it doesn't matter. 5 years of data come out, 10 years of data comes out. It doesn't matter. They will never ever trust it. They will never trust it. I think we've diverged realities, and I don't know. I think it's important to call out and course correct. Are there any bulletproof vaccines anyway? No, I don't think any vaccine is 100% effective. There might be like 1 or 2. But for the most part, I think that generally it's just a very, very, very low risk. It still shouldn't have been mandated. Even if it is dumb not to trust vaccines, American citizens have the right to refuse medical service without punishment. The government crossed the line, no way around it. Sure, I agree with you. If you want to make that the rule, that's fine, but I should be able to sue people if they make me sick. And I should be able to sue for damages and lost time from work. So if your retarded ass doesn't want to get vaccinated, that's fine. But if you show up to work and you get me sick, I should be able to demand a test from both of us, and I should be able to take you to court, and I should be able to sue you for lost hours if your retarded ass is coughing and sneezing and smearing virus everywhere, and I'm getting sick for it. So if we have that agreement, then I think it's A-okay. So my boyfriend and I started dating in June. It's mostly been amazing. Okay, first red flag, 6 months, but okay. But once he saw photos of my ex and I together, and I gave him more background of my ex and I, he started asking lots of questions about that relationship and breakup. Wow, Michael, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs, buddy. He then began to act extremely paranoid if he thought my ex was ever going to be around me or my friends. We used to work together. I play the cello for a professional symphony, and he plays the violin. It's how we met. Oof. One warning I will say, I don't even know how you would warn against this, but it's like a thing to keep in mind, is that if there's like a special hobby or talent or activity that you do and your current partner doesn't, you'd be really careful about that particular thing with other people of the opposite sex, because that's going to be like a super competitive, that puts a lot of bad thoughts in a person's head. But then he moved to another state and changed the symphony he was playing for about 6 months. He moved back, but has not auditioned for our symphony again. We no longer speak, so I'm not sure what he's doing now, but a mutual friend mentioned a while ago that he probably isn't going to be back. I told my current boyfriend this and thought he'd get relief from the news, but it turned into a fight because he was curious why I even asked about the information. I told him I didn't, but I can't ever win. If my friends were to say anything, that's me allowing my friends to talk about him, and then he's mad. It's been a consistently uncomfortable topic, and he's picked maybe a handful of fights over this. I understand that he's upset we were engaged. We were engaged and together for about 4.5 years and lived together for most of those years. He can't seem to handle my history with this guy. Even though I continue to make it clear I'm happy with our relationship and in love, I'm over my ex. I have been over him for a while. Our relationship honestly is so great, and our communication, this right here notwithstanding, it's usually pretty awesome and mostly mature, but he has these freak out moments, and the worst was recently. My ex was at a wedding of a work friend of mine. I was polite and vice versa, but I mostly stayed away and gave my current BF all the attention and love in the world. I made it clear that we were serious and I was respectful. We were supposed to stay an extra day and go sightseeing, but he left early and went back to his place and basically was ignoring me. Then he answered the phone and I thought we were fine. Then he kind of reverted back to an attitude, so I told him I'd give him a little more space, and we had this conversation after that. Okay. He's honestly now making me paranoid about us and second-guess things I would never second-guess, or am I being too hard on him? When we first started dating, I hadn't deleted a lot of my photos with my ex on social media, but literally nothing sinister was meant by that. I keep all my old photos up. I have photos from very distant parts of my life up there. In my personal opinion, there's like a very fine line to walk here or whatever. But in my personal opinion, I don't think you should ever have to like delete pictures of exes on social media. I think it's a huge red flag if you go to date somebody and they're so insecure about your previous partner that they like demand that you take down like every pic. Like, you know, I dated this person or whatever. Like, that's not going to disappear just because you want me to delete all the shit. With maybe some exceptions, like if you literally are doing like not safe for work porn shoots, or if you're doing like crazy shit, maybe. But for the most part, I mean, like if you're getting pictures of exes, they were in your life, like that's a thing. Like nobody's going to delete that from the brain. That's stupid, I think. He also found old scrapbooks. Now it's both weird to still have them on and to demand somebody to delete them. Nah, I don't think so. Unless you're literally like motorboating some girl in a fucking video. I think I don't know. Just don't put them in important places like your profile picture. That's true. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you wouldn't want them in your profile pic. Yeah, of course. Sure. Okay. He also found old scrapbooks. I guess if anything, I'm sentimental. What does that mean? He found old scrapbooks? He's like digging through your shit? Or I just don't throw things away or delete things. He deleted all of his photos with his ex and got rid of all their things. So he holds it over my head. Then I never had to stumble upon them looking so happy and stuff together or wonder why he kept it around. But one could argue that if I'm okay with having that stuff, it means I'm okay with it being with it all being over. And one could argue that having to erase someone entirely means that they actually harbor feelings or negative feelings anyway. Not sure how to proceed. I can't even believe I'm here asking this. I love him very much, but I don't know how to help him get over this, and I don't know the best way to handle it. Okay, just doing like a vibes analysis. I'm like, I think I'm slightly on the side of the girlfriend here. I kind of like need more information, but I feel like the girlfriend is generally in the right here. Boyfriend seems like he's acting cringe. Seems like he's got insecurity issues around the guy. Yeah, okay, you know. Then the text messages. Hi, you. How are you? Are you feeling any better? I guess just not really sure why you didn't think to tell me he'd be there. I had absolutely no idea that he would be there. I told you that. I wish you'd hear it / believe it. I don't see how there was any way actually for you to not know, because I barely talk to that crowd anymore. I also don't talk to them about specifics and certainly not about him. I didn't ask and they are used to not bringing him up to me at this point, and I feel like I can't win with you. Okay, so I would say, making a lot of assumptions here, okay? If these guys were really together for 4.5 years and she was like in this crowd, it seems a little unlikely that nobody would have mentioned that, hey, your ex that you were engaged to for 4.5 years is going to be at this wedding party. I feel like that would have come through the grapevine, but maybe not. I don't know, maybe these communication networks are different, but who knows? We'll see. And I feel like I can't win with you. How so? Because just say, if I did ask if he was going to be there and told, oh my God, I can't, the way that she writes drives me crazy. Because just say if I did ask if he was going to be there and told you yes or no, you'd be mad I asked about him. Not true. Be real. I would say that is a different situation. I don't understand why. You made it very clear time and time again that you just want him erased. I don't totally know the best way to go about it anymore. I'm sorry he was there, but you know that isn't why I wanted to be there. And short of ignoring him completely in front of everyone, I thought I did a pretty good job of keeping enough distance. I feel like you just need to trust in us and in what we have and trust in me, or moving forward, it doesn't seem possible. We won't be happy having these same arguments. Now you're threatening to end things, ... I don't think there's anything too bad about her. Sentences here. Put yourself in my shoes. Put yourself in mine. I have many times I've been over backwards trying to get you to understand that blank isn't a threat to you. I'm also not threatening anything. I'm just being realistic and honest. How many times can we have the same fight? Like, do you trust me? Are you happy? Yes, yes. It doesn't feel that way when we get in a stupid fight after a wedding and you then ignore me and say that you want to stay at your place instead of finishing the rest of the trip with me, and then ignore me for hours when I say I'm home. This is why I'm saying put yourself in my shoes. You kept your distance to a degree, but like you were also extremely personable and talkative with him. When I walked up to you guys, it legitimately felt like I was interrupting some great convo or catch up This isn't, that isn't keeping things distant. You both acted weird. Now imagine if this was all reversed, not just the situation this weekend. And then on top of that, we go to like say blank and blank's wedding and blank is there. She's single. She's giving me fuck me eyes, giving you dirty looks. You go talk to a few people you know, turn around and lo and behold, blank has found me at the bar and we are laughing, smiling, chatting. You finally walk up and we both get quiet and I act weird for 10 minutes after that. So in my mind, if you're ever going to run into like a catch up with an ex thing or whatever, I feel like you should just bring your partner with you. That would like short circuit so much potential drama. Like if that's going to happen, just bring your essa with you so that it doesn't seem like anything like weird is happening. But see, this is where we will keep disagreeing. I wasn't acting weird for 10 minutes after that. And I'm sorry if it felt that way to you, but I really don't think that we were acting like you got, that you somehow interrupted anything. If we got quiet, it was probably just because on one hand, I know how you were feeling and I already admitted if there was any weirdness, it was because of that, because I know how you feel about him. I feel like this is like an accidental, like gives the game away red flag. I don't understand this. Because it sounds like she is saying, okay, yeah, maybe it was weird after you showed up, but it's because I know how uncomfortable he makes you. But if that's the case, then wait, then why have the situation set up like this? Because it feels like you're, like, I don't know, it just seems, how old are these people? 28. On the other, he also probably felt a little weird because I'm sure he has heard that we are serious. Like, this is also a huge red flag. So you're talking to a guy that feels weird about us being together, and you know that I feel weird about you chatting with him, but then you're going and having like a full-on sidebar conversation. Like, that seems kind of weird, but okay. And I still do not agree that he was giving me any looks. I feel like a lot of it is you projecting your own fears and insecurities. Like, no, I would not be stoked to see blank and you chatting at a wedding, but I trust you and I would trust what we have. I would assume if anything, she was flirting with you, but not the other way around. I wouldn't ruin the night or weekend over it. So he was flirting? No, I'm saying if I saw you two laughing, smiling, ooh, that insecurity. No, I'm saying if I saw you two laughing, smiling, chatting, whatever, I might assume she's being flirty because she was in the past and that's just how she always is, but I'd leave it alone. Our exes have nothing to do with us, except that he wants you back. Okay, I'm not even sure if that is true. That is more assuming on your end. Ooh, that makes it sound like he absolutely does. I don't even know how he knows that or how they know that, but even if it was true, who cares? I can't control that, and I don't do anything to make you not trust, then I'm over him and all about you/us. No, like I am telling you, I found out that night that he does want you back. His annoying and very drunk buddy told me. Maybe he was with me, I don't know. Seemed pretty legit and checked out with the way he was acting around you. Can you please just call me? I'm over texting about this. Not in the mood. Something. I think that's their names. Dude, even if that is true, again, who cares? Do I not love you? You almost married the guy. If you were the one who ended things, that might make me feel a touch better, but he ended it. This is the one where it's like, oh. You described it as being the most heartbreaking breakup of your life. It was only 2.5 years ago, and he isn't actually out of your life completely. Sorry if I have some paranoia regarding him that won't fuck off. Okay. Sometimes I feel like people have this, they'll do this stupid thing where they'll go, hey, I have an issue. And I'm like, oh, what's up? I feel like my current partner is jealous of my ex. And it's like, oh, well, why do you say that? And like, I don't know. It feels like just because I've mentioned him or like just because, I've said anything about him, like my current partner is just super jealous of my ex. And I don't know why. I feel like it's not fair. And then there are two realities behind two separate doors. And you open one door and it's the girl saying like, the guy's like, oh, hey, have you been in a relationship with him? She's like, yeah, I dated this one guy for like 6 years. And the guy's like, 6 years? We've only been together for 1 year. Now I'm super jealous. And it's like, okay, well, the guy's being insecure. But then there's this other door where a guy's like, oh, so have you been in any relationships before? And the girl's like, or the guy could be like, right, it could be anyone. The person's like, yeah, I dated this one guy for 6 years, and he's definitely the one that got away. He was the love of my life. When we broke up, it crushed me. I didn't think I would ever recover. All the marks on my arms and legs are from the cutting, from the depression that I had afterwards, but I think I'm mostly better now. And it's like, why would you even say this? Why would you, you're either the most secure person in the universe in your relationship, or you're just like trying to f it out. Why would you say this, right? Why would you say this? And it was like, yes, you love me. Sometimes I do continue to worry deep down that I'm a rebound to him, and you will either get back together with him or end things due to not being over it. That isn't fair, though. It feels like you keep projecting how you dealt with your breakup. Today, if anything like maybe I should be freaking out that this is all because you're actually not over some other girl, his ex. Please don't turn this around. I'm not just saying. I don't care about exes. Why do you? We would be nearly perfect if you would stop letting your insecurities win. Please call. I'm just going to head to blanks. What? Seriously? You're going to go drink with friends instead of working this out with me? You won't even call me. This is exhausting and deeply upsetting. You're pushing me away. Please don't sabotage this. Hello? I'm not in the mood to keep talking to you. I'm exhausted too. Whatever, Kay. I don't have anything to say about this topic. You owe me an apology. Several, actually. I've apologized over and over for nothing, really. And you keep avoiding me. Now you're going to drink at blank, who is a horrible influence, by the way. And what is so incredibly astonishingly hypocritical about this too is that your ex goes to blanks pretty often. So it's really amazing you choose to hang with that crowd during this particular argument. She won't be there, literally just going to be blank, blank, and possibly blank. I can show you the text where he's the one inviting me. I don't care. So now you're pissed at me. I feel like that's what you want. I'm not playing these games. That isn't what I want. I'm not playing any goddamn games. I'm not in the mood to keep talking. Can we get together tomorrow night? Since you ditched me, then you finally answered, but you pick another fight. And now, when I thought we could move past it, you're still harping, why should we be on your timeline? I have rehearsal tomorrow night. I thought it was moved to Tuesday. Nope. We have an extra rehearsal, and the holiday party is what was moved. Maybe figure out if you're mature enough to continue this relationship. Until then, I don't think I want to talk. I can bring Claire as my date to the holiday party, and now you call. And you accuse me of playing games. Not a game. I'm just losing my patience. Answer, please. Why can't you judge my feelings past week? Hello, cool, thank you. Ooh, now he's trying to call? Dumbass. Literally, all I've done is try to understand and honor your feelings. You've done everything in your power to push me away. Have fun with blank and good friend blank. They are totally who you should be investing your time in right now. It's so immature. It's obvious and immature. I'll let you know when I feel like talking blank. All right, I won't go, okay. I know it isn't even about that. Blank, please answer. I'm trying to apologize, okay. So when he says, I don't want to talk, and then when she's pulling away, now he wants to talk, that starts to feel like a game, right? And then when he says he's not in the mood to hang out, he's just gonna go hang out with other people. And she's like, okay, fine, do it. And he's like, okay, wait, hold on. I don't want to, now that feels like a game, right? Like, what do you mean? I think some people get addicted to the, there's a name for this dynamic where you're like pushing away and pushing away and pushing away with the hope that they continue chasing. And then when they stop chasing, you like desperately go back. Because you're like, wait a second, why'd you stop chasing me? I love you. I've handled this shit well. I've never loved someone this much. And yeah, my record with blank sucked ass. Perhaps I project that onto you at times. There's more to it. And you know that, but you refuse to acknowledge it. I really wasn't ignoring you. My phone really was dead, but you were actually ignoring me. So that is it. You end this over messaging. I'm coming over. Okay, holy shit. Please don't. My roommate is not in the mood for drama tonight. Then come to mine. Not tonight. I'm exhausted. I'll call you tomorrow after rehearsal. Before he was like, please respect my time. Let's call tomorrow. And now he's like, I need to call and talk right now. Please call before. I have Christmas shopping plans. Fine. Okay. Okay. I love you, real. I'm sorry. I love you too. I'm seriously not going to breathe until you set it back. I'm an idiot. The funny thing is too, these guys are like 6 months in. I feel like they're both manipulative losers. I mean, I don't know. I'd say they're both manipulative losers. It just feels like they're both like a little toxic. But damn. But 6 months and they're like this? Not good. Not good. Are the comments with the girl? Every comment is defending the girl, yeah, of course.